Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel today. Have you ever wondered if your time was counting down, what would truly matter? How precious would those things we postpone every day become? Today in our series If I Had Only 1 Year to Live, we'll explore a wonderful challenge, running a marathon. Not to wallow in sadness or regret, but to awaken, to live fully in each present moment. This isn't just a collection of thoughts, but a call to action. For you and me to live a life without regrets. Let's begin this journey together. I used to be someone who thought I could never run long distances. When I heard someone had completed a marathon, I would think, wow, they're extraordinary, but I could never do that. I limited myself to my comfort zone. And perhaps many of us do the same. But when I imagined the final year of my life, something strange happened. I didn't think about lying on the sofa watching Netflix all day, even though that's what I often do on weekends. Instead, I dreamed of standing at the starting line of a marathon, heart racing, alongside thousands of others ready for a 42,195 kilometers journey. Why a marathon? Is it because it's an impressive athletic achievement? Not really. A marathon isn't just a race, but a perfect metaphor for life itself. I have a friend named Min. At 35, she was diagnosed with early-stage cancer. During her treatment, she set herself a seemingly impossible goal: to complete a marathon after finishing chemotherapy. Min told me, if I can beat cancer and finish 42 kilometers, I can do anything. And a year later I stood by the roadside, cheering as Min crossed the finish line with a bright smile on her sweat-covered face. It wasn't just a physical victory, but a declaration of will. I am alive, and I am living life to the fullest. Science has also proven that setting a major goal like a marathon not only improves physical health, but also brings tremendous mental benefits. Marathon participants often report higher levels of happiness, better resilience in the face of adversity, and a sense of accomplishment that few other activities can provide. So if you had only 1 year to live, why spend time on a challenging feat like a marathon? Because it's in these challenges that we discover our true nature. We learn to push beyond limits, face fears, and enjoy the pleasure of conquest. Not conquering others, but conquering ourselves. But how do you go from zero, when you may have never run more than 2 kilometers continuously, to completing a challenging marathon? How do you turn this dream into reality when life is still busy with work, family, and responsibilities? First, start with the right mindset. A marathon isn't about speed, but about perseverance. Nobody expects you to break a world record, or even run the entire distance without stopping. The goal is to cross the finish line, in whatever way works for you. Even if that means walking, stopping to breathe, or even fighting through tears of pain. Next, create an appropriate training plan. There are many couch to 5K programs that gradually progress to 10K, half marathon, and finally a full marathon. The golden rule is to increase your distance by no more than 10% each week to avoid injury. For example, if you run a total of 20 kilometers this week, don't exceed 22 kilometers next week. A small tip I learned from my trainer: the October 10th 10 method. Whenever you feel like giving up, ask yourself, can I push for 10 more steps? After those 10 steps, ask again. Another 10 steps? And continue. Our brains easily accept small goals, and by breaking down the journey, you'll be surprised at your ability to push beyond limits. To overcome time constraints, integrate running into your daily routine. It could be running early in the morning before work, during lunch breaks, or even running to work if the distance allows. Some people even utilize social running, meeting friends to chat while running together, instead of sitting at a cafe. Don't forget to invest in proper running shoes. This isn't the place to cut costs. Good shoes not only help you avoid injuries, but also make the training process much more comfortable. Visit specialty running stores where they can analyze your running style and recommend suitable shoe models. And finally, remember that this journey isn't just physical. Your mind plays an equally important role. Practice meditation, visualization, and always keep in mind the image of yourself crossing the finish line with overwhelming joy. When your body wants to quit, it's your mind that will help you continue. When thinking about running a marathon in a final year, I realize it's not just an athletic achievement. It's a lesson in dedication, perseverance, and personal growth. Haruki Murakami, the famous writer and runner, wrote in What I Talk About When I Talk About Running, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. This quote reflects a profound life philosophy. In marathons as in life, we cannot avoid challenges and painful moments, but we can choose how to respond to them. I once participated in a small marathon in central Vietnam, and at the 32nd kilometer, what runners call the wall, I met a 78-year-old man. His legs were shaking, he was drenched in sweat, but his eyes were full of determination. When I ran alongside him and asked why at his age he still participated in marathons, he just smiled and said, "My child, I don't run to add days to my life, but to add life to my days." That simple statement completely changed how I view marathons and life itself. We often seek comfortable, easy experiences, but sometimes it's the experiences that push us to our limits that are most worthwhile. Marathons teach us that joy isn't just in the destination but throughout the journey. The joy of seeing yourself improve day by day. The joy of overcoming pain to achieve what seemed impossible. The joy of connecting with a community of like-minded people who understand the value of effort. And perhaps the biggest lesson from marathons is about human resilience. We are much stronger than we think. Even when we seem exhausted, we can still find within ourselves the energy to continue. This isn't just a lesson for 42.195 kilometers, but a lesson for every challenge in life. When I think about having only 1 year to live, I want it to be a year of exceeding myself, of discoveries about human limits, and of the joy of being completely immersed in the experience of living. No matter how painful that experience might be. Because, as poet Robert Frost wrote, "The only way out is through." And sometimes, it's in the most exhausting steps that we truly understand the meaning of existence. And now I want to challenge all of you watching this video. In the next 7 days, start with a small goal. Run or walk continuously for 15 minutes each day. Don't worry about speed or distance. Just move continuously for 15 minutes. Take a photo of your shoes, the path you run on, or your sweaty selfie and share it in the comments. Each day, spend those 15 minutes and record how you feel. After 7 days, come back and share the changes you've noticed. Not just physically but mentally. If you're busy, try running in place in your living room while watching TV. If you always forget to exercise, place your running shoes next to your bed so the first thing you see each morning is that reminder. And remember, no goal is too small to start with. You may not run a marathon next week, next month, or even next year. But each small step is part of the bigger journey. As the famous saying by Lao Tzu goes, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Life isn't measured by the number of years we live, but by how we live those years. Imagine a year from now looking back and smiling because you didn't let those running steps, those breaths, those drops of sweat pass by without grasping them. Each running step is a heartbeat affirming, "I am alive, I am healthy, and I am using the greatest gift, my body." Each kilometer you cover not only brings you closer to the finish line of the race, but also closer to the best version of yourself. If this video has given you a new perspective, leave a comment about your experience. Each like, each share is motivation for me to continue this series, spreading meaningful things to more people. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss the next episode in the series, If I Had Only 1 Year to Live. Because whether time is long or short, what matters most is how we use it. See you next week with the topic, If I Had Only 1 Year to Live, I would learn a new musical instrument. Remember, each moment is a gift. Open it with all appreciation.